my neighborhood, we are always so proud to have the Community Foundation of Louisville and the work that they do. Also, Louisville Pride Foundation, and they are here together, so that's an extra bonus to announce some of the good things that they are doing. Justin Hogan is here, Program Officer of Economic Equity. It's been a while.
It has been.
Too long.
Yes, way too long.
It's good to see you at the beginning of the year. Ebony Cross was saying, we've been missing each other. We've been missing each other every time. Director of the Louisville Pride Foundation.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
You all have got a lot of work going on, and that's all right, and some good news that's been going on. First, let's talk about what you do so people know. Talk about what the Community Foundation of Louisville does.
Yeah, so in one sentence, we are a financial institution with a social mission. And that is a really short way of saying that we do two things. We offer personalized services for our over 2,000 fund holders to help direct them to charities like Louisville Pride and other well-deserving charities and nonprofits in town. And we also use our discretionary assets to run programs and act as a connector and a convener. So the way a lot of people in Louisville probably know us is through Give for Good. It's the one-day giving event that has given over $10 million in funding to nonprofits each of the last 2 years. But we also run programs like we'll talk about, which is the Charles and Jack Fund, which are targeted.
You all are very patient to the Give for Good. They're always so kind when I can't get my page up. I can never get my page up for my nonprofit, A Recipe to End Hunger, and you all are very patient.
Happy to do it.
And how many? I mean, I can't even imagine how many nonprofits you deal with.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few. I mean, me and my colleagues, we're talking to nonprofits every day, learning about the unique challenges that all of us are experiencing, and we're really trying to package all that together so that we can tackle some of the biggest problems that we know that Louisville is experiencing as a unique city.
And it's harder, it seems to me now, more than ever.
Yes and no. You know, like, the internet, Zoom, and Teams have made it so much easier to have those conversations. Ebony and I can get together on a moment's notice and talk if we need to, but the problems are also much more complex.
Yeah. Okay, so Ebony, talk to us about Louisville Pride Foundation and the work that you all have to tackle every day.
Well, first of all, we are a 501c3 charitable organization that celebrates the LGBTQIA+ community, and we just work to advance equity and representation and affirmation for our community and community as a whole.
All right. Well, you have something that's been going on, the Charles and Jack Fund.
Yes.
What is that?
So the Charles and Jack Fund, who both are amazing individuals, but in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they pushed to make sure that there was visibility for the LGBTQ community. One of the primary things that they did was make sure our youth was visible and that they had affirming care, which bridged perfectly with CFL and the Louisville Pride Foundation. When I stepped into my role last year, one of the main things I wanted to do was make sure that we were implementing events and programming for the youth and that we were doing our part. So thank you to CFL and Justin for this amazing grant and opportunity, because it will help us to usher in the programming that we've been working on for about the past year for the youth and young adults.
I have to say that I got a chance to work with a group, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to remember the name, but it was for Thanksgiving. And I got to work with a lot of LGBTQ youth for Thanksgiving, and the stories that I heard, and all of the youth that were there, there were hundreds that couldn't go home.
Yes.
And I'm saying, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
And we fed them. And my heart broke.
Yes.
They couldn't go home. And I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And I think many people don't understand that. So if you were to explain why important to support the gay or queer community, and I'm not sure what word I should use, what would you say?
I would say that it's very important. It's hard when you are going through a period in your life where you're trying to figure yourself out, especially as a young adult. And we want to make sure that we are continuing to provide these safe spaces and the education and the programming, not just for the youth, but for the parents as well, because sometimes they just have no idea and don't know where to go. So part of what we're doing at the organization in the center is to provide that education in that space for those young adults who have nowhere to go and just need a place to come to. We have a social worker on staff, we have a therapist on staff, we have many different events, weekly, monthly, and bi-weekly, that we have at the center that we're creating for the youth, and we're working on having just the youth night and the youth day at the center for the youth, so they know that there is a space along with the other spaces that we have in the community, that we're there to support them as well. It's very important, because that's where it starts. It starts with that younger generation and that youth, and we want to make sure 10, 15, 20 years from now that we've made the space a little easier and a little more accepting for them as well, because it's hard.
Are there things that the Louisville Pride Foundation needs from the community?
Support, sponsorships, donations. That helps us and allows us to continue to do the work that we do. I mean, as a community, we're not going anywhere. You know, we are always going to be here. The youth is always going to be here, and we just want to make sure that we continue to create that space for them and just for the community as a whole. So having that support from allies, companies, businesses, that is super, super important, so we can remain open to do the work that we do.
Community Foundation of Louisville, how do we support the work that you do?
There's a bunch of different ways. You know, if you are a charitably minded person, you know, you might have gotten a bonus around the holidays, you might have social causes that you want to support, give us a call. You know, we open up funds constantly for folks. Also, if you're interested in just taking a look at the programs that we have or the nonprofits that we support, my email or the phone number is up there to give us a call and contact a program officer. We are happy to talk to you about the things that are happening and causes that deserve supporting in our community.
Did I forget anything that you want to make sure that you get out there?
I do want to make sure that everybody knows where the Louisville Pride Foundation Center is located. So we are located at 1244 South 3rd Street, Suite 200. We have some new things that we're doing at the center, so we're going to have some signage so you can see us from the street. And we had a wonderful year in 2024, and we're looking to do that again in 2025. So please come and visit. We also have a food pantry, and we are accepting donations at any time. Every 4th Wednesday we're open and we're serving our neighbors in the community. So that has been a major and important thing that we did last year. So please donate food items, non-perishable items. Just donate and support as much as you can, because it is important.
All right. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.